Yeah, 3 weeks ago. I guess I can recap it quick if nobody else wants to. So when we were last out on the open seas, we opened up with us in the part where Davia promptly saw and shot Captain Jack Sparrow in the chest, which led to a tribunal for Davia, which, due to some convincing lucky rolls and a generous DM, Davia was not put to death for breaking one of the main laws of the island, and we were able to convince them to let us take care of the skull pirate problem they're having with the flaming bastard, and let Davia leave with us. Though Davia did have to pay off Jack Sparrow, or whatever his fucking pun name was, with gold and a favor owed. Yeah. Meanwhile, Bill was able to get us passage on a warship with a general soldier type style where what was it? Where we get the soldier type warriors where you have everybody slamming together into the classic Greek style row into a hit boat style, and we all joined the thing where we had competitions of seeing what everybody could do. We proved ourselves enough to the captain to get on the boat, and as far as I'm aware, that is the broad strokes of what happened 3 weeks ago.
Well, more or less. All right. Give me a moment while my computer has its daily stroke real quick.
Yeah, always fun.
All right. Yeah, so you guys got passage on this dude's ship here. But I believe you guys had a few hours before the ship was leaving the city.
Yeah, it was morning, yeah.
Bill got a little overzealous about it and woke you all up super early in the morning.
Yeah, you're burning daylight.
That's one way to put it.
Would anything be even open this early in the morning of this pirate city?
Yes and no. Like general stores probably wouldn't be, but taverns and maybe some specialty stores. I mean, you have a few hours still, so some of the regular stores will be open before you set sail.
Okay, well, after Jube and Davia, we head back to the ship to get a couple more hours of sleep to make sure we got long rests. Jube would see if there's any place to buy potions, possibly.
Okay. Roll me a just quick investigation. Shouldn't be too difficult.
Oof.
How does it feel? All right. With your 8, you end up. You don't find a store per se. Cinder, are you on a phone?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm getting feedback from.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Anyway, with your 8, you don't really find a store that's open per se, but you do find a kind of a guy on the side of the street who claims to be selling potions.
I guess I will quickly approach him and see if he is selling anything. Excuse me, sir.
Ah, hello. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you had any potions of healing or the sort for sale.
Ah, healing potions. Of course, of course. give me just a moment. He kind of hobbles his way around. You notice he's got a peg leg. He's just kind of like a standard type of noise, uh, sound. Look, God, today was crazy. Yeah, so he's got this little cart with a blanket over it, and he just like pulls the blanket off, or I guess a tarp is more accurate. And you see just lines of little potions, various colors and sizes, bottle shape, stuff of that sort. And he's like, "All right, friend, what kind of potion you looking for? What strength? What dosage you want?"
The basic would be most useful.
The basic, huh? All right, I got just what you need. He pulls out this little, the old milk things that milkmen had with the 4 little milk jugs in it. He pulls one of those out, and he has 4 little potions, and he's like, "I'll do you one for a bundle, 4 potions for the low price of 200 gold."
How much for 3?
Hmm. How about 150?
That I could do. You're just gonna look at the potions. So he's selling potions in a milk crate. Correct?
No, I mean, that's the basic idea. It's not literally a milk crate,
Oh yeah, I didn't know it.
but
Yeah. He's gonna take a look at those potions. As, could you give me just the 1 minute? And he's gonna pick up a potion. Just want to make sure these are
have
the
you
highest
paid
quality.
for them?
I will buy one and take a peek at it,
Okay.
and then I will cast Identify on it.
You just I think we already did your roll for this day. It's just a potion.
Well, identifies a.
I'm talking about the other roll.
No, I know, but identifies it wouldn't require a spell slot anyways because it's a. Uh, uh, what you call it spell.
Words.
Yeah, I'm tired. But you know what I mean, the type of spell that doesn't require a spell slot, a ritual spell. That's what I was trying to say.
So you stand there for 10 minutes, just observing the potion.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I casted it, but so I casted it. It's a healing potion. Okay, well then I will buy the other 2, and that clears up my gold.
What? That is just your standard healing potion. Nothing crazy.
So I get 3 healing potions. Thank you very much, my good merchant.
You're quite welcome.
And I will head back to the ship where everybody else is, I'm assuming. That's what I had to do. What are you guys planning?
I mean, like, I'm ready to go out whenever.
Same.
Everin,
Well,
you gonna do anything?
besides getting what I did for Davia, that's pretty much it. And just hang out and relax and try to find my friends wherever they may be.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, this new map is got the little double grid problem, so just I guess try to work with.
Oh, whatever. Double grip's never usually that big a problem.
Okay. So the few hours passes by, and eventually you all find your way to the the manned ship on the inside. It does have sails and masts and everything, but instead of housing like cannons in the gun area, they have these massive oars so they can use some row power if they need to as well, which actually gives this ship a good deal of speed, um, all things considered. The crew itself is primarily comprised of meatheads, I guess is one way to put it. You see a few ogres, a couple of half orcs, a lot of humans. There's even a half elf or two in there, a few dwarves, but nothing really super out of the ordinary except maybe the ogres.
But what size of crew are we looking at?
There's probably about 60 people on this boat.
Yes, it's a pretty big boat. I see you have a fine crew with you, Captain.
Thank you. Trained them myself.
I'm sure they are fine warriors.
I like to think so. The other thing you notice about the ship is it does have armaments, but in the form of ballistae as opposed to cannons. You're not really sure how effective that is against enemy ships, but it's likely more effective against enemy crew.
This is a boarding ship.
Yeah, it's not one of those fancy, dangerous pirate ships. This is a good old-fashioned, pirate hunting ship.
I see what you mean. By the way, Bill, Cinda, Everin, Davia, I have something for each of you.
Huh?
Jubei takes out
Yes.
a potion and hands one to each of you guys.
This ain't poisoned, is it?
No, Bill, they are not poison. They are basic healing potions in case you need them or we need to save one of our companions.
No, right? I'm saying is this is poison, I'm gonna haunt you. If I die because of this, I'm gonna haunt you if I come back. It's like a zombie. Or a ghost.
I'm sure Victor will be thrilled.
Or a wraith.
In any case, each of you should take one of these so you have at least some emergency healing in case things go south in this battle.
Thank you.
You are quite welcome.
On the map, you'll notice that there's the top deck.
And the bottom deck. Yep.
Yep. So if you guys want to just move around, place yourselves anywhere you can. Sorry, Juba, you can.
Pardon, what was that, Nano?
I cut you off in the middle of something, so you can go ahead and continue.
Don't even remember what I was saying now.
Awesome. Okay, so the other thing you kind of take stock of on this ship is this lifeboat in the or I guess it's not necessarily a lifeboat. It's just one of their little boats that they can row to shore on if they so
Yeah.
need.
Basic shore rowboat.
It's a little weird that it's in the middle there, but there it is. You think maybe the ogres pick it up and just toss it in to the water?
Captain, may I have a word with you?
You may. What can I do for you?
I was hoping to hear what the strategy you were hoping for this. My team and I had discovered there is a person of interest we can go visit who had seen and been to this. My words fail me. I mean, We know of a person who has survived the encounter with this flaming skull pirate that we seek. We were hoping it may be best to gather information upon him to make sure we have the greatest chance of success.
Is that so?
If it is amenable to you.
And whereabouts is this individual?
Where was he again? It was...
It was a few hours west, which is where you guys were headed.
Yeah, a few hours west of here, I believe. A fishing village. I believe that's what you said.
Yep, that is correct. He kind of arches a brow a moment, and rubs his chin and thought, I see. Well, it shouldn't hurt the bottom line in our time frame here. We are a bit in a rush since there are about 3 or 4 other crews going after this same guy.
Of course, but as far as I'm aware, this thing has sunk other ships. It would be best to be armed with as much power as we can. I have a feeling if the others rush in blindly, they are more likely just to die from the assault.
You're not mistaken on that. Very well, we can visit this little island if you can point out to me where it is, or if she can.
Of course. Everin?
Yeah.
Could you come here? I believe you and Bill were the ones
You
who
brush over.
What is it?
you and Everin, you and Bill were the ones who discovered the location of this fisherman, were you not?
After 3 weeks, I don't remember.
I think it was you, Bill, and Cinder who discovered it, because Jube was busy with Davia the whole time.
Oh, yeah, we did.
So, would you be so kind as to use your knowledge of the waves and storms to direct the captain to this island, perhaps?
I nod.
Very well. We will make do for this island, and once we get there, a lot of you can have about, well, we'll say half a day to get this information.
That sounds...
You don't want to fall too far behind.
Of course, we will be quickly. I doubt it shall take more than a few hours, honestly, to speak to this man. Evelyn can be quite convincing when she wishes to be.
Kind of.
Indeed. Davia seems to be sick with the flux or something, so I suppose we will have to let her be for her own
Rest.
for the while.
Davia is over there just examining the boat by herself,
Yeah.
intently looking at these ballistae, lingering in thought. Something funny here, Evan?
No.
Your laughing states otherwise.
Well, it's nothing.
All right. So you guys have a little bit of time on the ship now, as it will take a few hours to reach this location. If you wish to talk to crewmen, the captain, each other, please do so.
Okay, Jubei will go towards his party and discuss some tactics. If he would also ask the captain if he would be so willing to discuss tactics.
Why can't we just always follow the good old-fashioned tactics? We just sit back and we shoot crossbows at them. You know, maybe we hit them, maybe we miss them, but we just keep shooting until either they run away or we get them.
Bill, oddly enough, that is more or less what I had planned for you.
It's like the standard plan. I mean, it says it right here in the manual. It's what we're supposed to do. Shoot at them with crossbows and try to hit them.
This is a ramming ship, is it not, though, Captain?
More or less.
So, I assume a duck-to-duck battle is to be expected in this encounter with our foe.
He points to the front of the ship. The reason it's shaped as such is to maximize impact on them, not us. We call it the hull cracker.
Indeed.
With any luck, we'll crack their hull and they'll be sinking before we even board.
That is a good possibility, but I assume it does not always work, and boarding is necessary, hence the strong military crew you have.
It happens on occasion, yeah.
Well, should this occur, I think our best bet may be a bit of a surprise move. Cinder, I think you would be best if you used your ability of fire on the enemy ship when the enemy crew gathers on pub deck.
Alright. I will do
Everett.
so.
Yeah.
Perhaps casting haste upon us would be very useful upon me. If you are okay with the idea, Captain, I would lead the charge and draw the enemy closer to me. When they surround me, Everin could launch Cinder and Everin could launch fireballs and lightning bolts past me, which, with the haste spell, I should be able to avoid the worst of the damage.
Also, I can destroy their cannons or whatever they have.
Indeed. Well,
More than likely, by the time we've rammed into them, their cannons will be useless anyway.
Indeed, this is more for the crew then. Bill, I would suggest you stay behind with Cinder and Everin to watch them on board our ship to make sure the enemy does not flank them.
Yeah, I mean, like, that makes sense, I guess. Or we just ram them and wait for the ship to sink.
And if it does not sink, Bill,
I can make it sink.
I'm sure we can, Everin, but at the same time, we have to make sure whatever we do, we should prepare for deck-to-deck combat for the worst-case scenario. This is all I am saying.
Mhm.
It's also likely that they will have casters on their boat. Many boats don't go without them these days.
Indeed, I'm sure they will have a few of their own casters. Jimmy looks at the big boat around him. Speaking of which, how fire-resistant is this boat of yours, Captain?
It's made of a special wood, just to prevent such a thing.
I can only assume the enemy ship would have the same precautions.
Well, if their captain is literally on fire,
Indeed.
What about lightning? Is it resistant to that?
probably not, but it's resistant to getting fire started from the light.
In other words, you probably will crack holes in the ship, but it will not burst into flame from it. Fire is the worst part of a ship. Otherwise, cannonballs will do just as much damage as the lightning bolt.
I'm just thinking of a few ideas. Like, I could shatter the hull or around them.
It's possible. As I said, I am more concerned if we end up having to go fight into hand-to-hand combat versus sinking the boat.
And I will try to gauge if there's going to be any storms or any severe weather near us.
That also would be very advantageous, Evelyn. Cinder, do you have anything to add to this?
I do not. Hopefully the ship itself isn't too resistant to fire or the people on board, but that's really most of my what I have that I can do.
Then very well. I suppose for the time being we should rest and get ourselves ready for the landing on the island then. We will need to interrogate this survivor and see what we can about this crew. If this man is indeed a flaming cursed skull monster, there may be more to his crew than just men-at-arms.
More than likely.
Indeed. Is there anything you wish us to do aboard your ship at the moment while we make our way towards the fishing village, Captain?
If you see anything that you wish to help out with, feel free to. Otherwise, no.
Very good. I guess Jubei will look around to see if he needs the help, if anybody needs a hand.
Mm, what were you primarily doing when you were on the other ship?
I was primarily the guy in the eagle's nest because I have the best perception in our party.
Okay. You notice that there's some people kind of they're more preparing like weapons and armor and such, as opposed to doing any actual ship duties.
That sounds good. Jubei will also prep his gear, well, I guess, while he's at it, since everybody else is.
I'm going to close my eyes and try to sense anything in my portfolio.
Okay. All seems clear for the time being,
Okay.
at least in the immediate vicinity.
Mm-hmm. I want to say that to the captain.
Captain nods and gives you his thanks. Cinder and Bill, are you two gonna do anything on the ship, or are you just gonna total your thumb?
Totally my thumbs. We didn't bypass the shield. Well, I guess we did bypass it. I'll help. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll help about the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll help.
So there's a couple of things that you guys could do. I mean, there's helping the men prep their gear if you wish. You see a couple of guys. They're kind of the little elevator type things that the window washers use on skyscrapers.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys on one of those hanging off the side of the boat, specifically in the front, checking over the whole armor and everything in the front to make sure there are no cracks or anything of immediate danger for them to kind of worry about. And then there's just general ship related jobs going on. There's a guy running around checking to make sure all the ballistae are good to go. Seems like the crew, for the most part, is a pretty well-oiled machine, and really they're just working to getting their ship in tip-top combat shape, just in case things go south. They have a backup plan. So I'm not sure if there was any specific job that you were interested in, but there they are. Either way, it takes a few hours, as said earlier, to get to the location of this fishing village. You guys hear the guy in the raven's nest just yell, "Land ho!" And the captain kind of acknowledges it. They prepare the little shore ship for you guys. A couple of the ogres get a spell cast on them by one of the battle mages on the ship, and they're able to both just lift the boat with ease and just kind of gently set it into the water with a lot of you in it.
We will be. No.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we will be back as soon as we can, Captain.
Of course.
And I guess Jubei quickly and swiftly rows to the shore so we can interrogate this survivor and figure out what the hell figure out what we're dealing with some more detail.
Make me an athletics check.
Hey, I don't suck at these. Not at all.
Even with the ocean just kind of throwing the boat about a little bit, it's relatively calm, but it's not the easiest either. You guys make your way to one of the nearby shores. You can see the smoke of the fishing village. You decided not to kind of row to it immediately, just in case things go awry there, I guess. Now that you guys have made landfall, what do you wish to do? The island itself isn't huge, but it's pretty decent size. There's a thick forest in front of you. The grass is nice and green. Skies are blue. Gentle breeze. All in all, pretty calm day.
Oh, yeah. Pull up to the fishing village. Disembark. Evelyn,
Mm-hmm.
would you be so kind as to see if you could discover where this man we are searching for is by asking a few of the villagers? I believe your manner of speak would be more appealing than my own.
Okay.
So it's a bit interesting, Jubei, as you guys rush your way right to the fishing village. The architecture of it is quite familiar to you.
Is this Nipponese?
You'll see in a minute.
Okay. Yes, it is.
So you guys make your way to the outskirts of the village. Jubei, you immediately recognize this architecture as Nipponese, which is kind of interesting because you guys are still pretty far away from the mainland. You're curious on what the deal is with this, but this fishing village also seems far more developed than you probably had imagined.
This is unbelievable. These structures are from my home.
How far away is your home?
Hundreds of miles at least, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Hundreds of miles, and it's on a completely different continent. This is very strange to see these buildings here. Do I see anybody out and about?
You see, you're not really at the village center.
That proper, okay.
You see a couple of people kind of walking around in this area. And this is Probably a hunter's lodge, you'd guess, since there's plenty of forest in the area. They probably also hunt for game. If you had to guess, this village is probably entirely self-sustaining, and away from the terrors of what happens in your homeland. Nobody has noticed you yet.
Jubei is just going to kind of stride forward, kind of with a gawking face, looking about, just amazed. Kind of almost like rub his hands gingerly on the walls of seeing like structures he hasn't seen in half a decade. This is something else. As I
Is it a good something else?
this is sorry, but this place reminds me of my home. In fact, in some ways, this is similar to the village I grew up in before I joined the temple.
If you want to, when we go back to our keep, you can design some of the village to be like this.
That isn't a bad idea, Evelyn. Thank you for the suggestion. Jubei will walk towards where he hopes is the town square and kind of look around in amazement.
I'm getting a phone call. Give me just a minute.
Oh, okay.
Or just take a quick 5-10 minute.
Sounds good. I will use the washroom.
Wow, these guys really know how to build buildings that'll fall down.
I'm not one for architecture myself, but these are quite strange looking.
Well,
So, Jubei, what were you doing? You were going to the center of the.
Yeah, I was making my way towards the center of town to see if I can find people.
Well, like I said, there are people walking around and such. A couple of them is a father and a son, and you can tell they're nipping. They both kind of stop right about here and look at you. I do not have any appropriate tokens for these people. And they just kind of blink. I'm surprised.
Surprise. In Nipponese, I go, hello, my friends. Do they speak Nipponese?
They speak fluent Nipponese. Everett, it's like you're watching a old samurai western at the moment.
Oh dear.
As you're watching them talk to each other in Nipponese, the farmer goes, "Hello. What brings strangers to our village?"
Oh, I'm sorry. We are looking for a person of. Uh, we are after a very vicious pirate, the Flaming Skull pirate.
And we heard that possibly one of your people here knows about it, so we can stop and try to find out more information about the pirate.
They they kind of the guy kind of looks at you both. He arches a brow and he seems kind of hesitant to really talk to you guys. In fact, you feel like the only reason why he even said anything was because Jubei is Nipponese as he is. He kind of shakes his head a moment. Forgive me, but what is a man of the order doing here? He says, looking at Jubei.
Yeah, I guess I still have my order gear on.
Really?
I I am here in favor of trying to search down a villainous, as I said, pirate, but I am not part of the Order, my friend. At least I am not an official member of the Order anymore. I had never passed my final training.
Hmm. I see. Well, the man you're looking for is the chieftain, but he is out at the moment. He's gone on a hunt.
I see.
Do you know when he'll be back?
By the end of the day, more than likely.
I do not know if we have that much time.
We
Perhaps we
don't.
should go search for him, Everin.
We have a boat leaving for us at half day. Do you possibly know where he went so we could talk to him?
So you guys made landfall here at about 11, maybe 12. Get another phone call.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
wow.
Bit popular today, Nano.
That you guys made landfall here. So realistically, he could be back with plenty of time for you guys to talk to him. Of course, if you want to go out and search for him, you can as well.
Jimmy turns to the rest of the party and goes, do you think it is best to make sure he is alright, or do you think it is best that We wait here for him.
I think we should go and try to find him.
That may be best. I just...
With our luck, he's gonna get in trouble and we need to help him.
You know, it almost seems like there's some sort of god that makes sure everything is as dramatic as possible.
Yeah, I think we're like the main character or something.
Perhaps. Cinder, Bill, do you think we agree that we should go out and search?
Like, let's not wait around on this island all day. I mean,
There's
I would
nothing
say I've got
here.
better things to do, but I don't.
There's nothing here. We should head out.
And most likely he's being attacked right now and we need to save his life.
I heard the noises of StarCraft. So you guys are gonna go search for him.
Mhm.
Well, please continue your deliberations. Sorry.
Does anyone actually know how to track a person?
I mean, like, what do you mean, like footprints and whatnot?
Is anyone trained in such a thing?
Let me see. Maybe. I mean, I can. Nope. Nope, I'm not trained in it.
Fair enough. Everin, I am assuming you are not a survivalist.
I don't think so.
Cinder?
Not really.
Well, I suppose I could take a crack at this. Not exactly my specialty, but I'm always willing to see what I can see. So Jubei will kind of go towards the woods where he was more or less told the man was, to see if he can find any tracks to see if where he went.
So you head down this way, and as you guys are like heading towards that way, man, Jubei, you just feel like right at home here for some reason.
I wonder why.
It's uncanny almost.
Actually, before I go, I'm going to stop and actually turn to those people we were about to leave. As I was about to turn and leave.
Okay.
I wanted to say, in a Nipponese, so the rest of the party doesn't understand what I say, I just want to go to them and think, excuse me, but may I ask what a Nipponese village is doing all the way out here?
The man kind of like glances down a moment and looks over to his son, and then gives you a just kind of a smile. You see, a few of us decided that we were just tired of what was going on in the homeland, and we sailed out, eventually making landfall here, but things weren't exactly perfect when we first got here, as you might assume. We've actually been here for at least one generation now. My father has lived on this island for about 40 years.
I take it
You take a second look at him after he says that, and the guy you're talking to seems to be about 40 years old himself. His son seems to be in the early, maybe late teens. So, yeah, continue.
That is... I take it your father then was one of the original settlers in this city.
Hey, he was.
You said that part of Jubei wants to stay in the village and actually see what this is all about.
Hey, man. Probably be better.
Probably, since nobody in our party has the ability to hunt people down, since we do not have a ranger anymore.
Big rip.
Wait, we had a ranger?
Do not worry about it, Billy. We. Everyone's taking
Guess
every
Everin
precaution.
puts on mage armor.
Before we start walking out into the wilderness, because just to be safe.
Everin, I do not know if, since none of us are in fact any hunters, it may prove ineffective to go search for him, but unless we wish to split the group, half of us hunt him, see if we can find him, and the others stay behind in case he returns, but...
I don't know. My inner dislike of going into the wilderness is matched with my inner dislike of waiting around in this village. Hold the decisions.
I think we should go try to find him, but we can leave markers so we don't get lost, or maybe we can go with someone from the village who knows around the area.
It is not a bad idea, Everin. Excuse me, sir. Is there anyone else who would be able to assist us to find the chief? This is, as we said, in a bit of a time crunch, an emergency, but...
The village man just kind of looks at his son a moment and then back over to you guys. Well, that is the complication here. The beast that the chieftain is hunting down is... He pauses a moment, just trying to think of the best way to describe this. It is a Nue.
What?
Do I know what that is?
You, in fact, do.
Ooh.
A Nue is described as having the face of a monkey, legs of a tiger, and the body of a tanuki or a Nipponese raccoon dog with a snake for a tail. It's basically a Japanese or Nipponese chimera. It's also known to have a great affinity with lightning.
Really?
Turns to Everin.
And yeah, so Jubei, you immediately know that this is a demonic creature of some sort, and that's things kind of start to click in your mind a little bit when he said they came here to try to get away from all that, but it only partially worked.
Jubei kind of turns to the guys. Are you saying that some of the demonic forces have come and tracked you down here? Or somehow...
I do not know. It's only recently popped up in the last 5 years.
Boy, that's an odd coincidence.
Is it?
What is he talking about? I do not know much about demonic forces and the like.
That is sorry, Everin, that is a Nipponese type of demon. Very dangerous. It may be best to find the chieftain. He may need assistance. I'll turn back to us. So, as you have figured, I did serve the Sun Temple when I was in Nippon, but I could be a great assistance to your chief if there's someone who is willing to take us to him to make sure he is safe.
The fisherman kind of thinks on it a moment, and he kind of turns, puts his arm around his son a moment, and turns and they kind of speak in private a moment. You can roll me an insight check if you wish.
I have that. 21.
Okay. With your insight into your people, I guess, they have very nuanced tells, so to speak, and You pick up on a couple of these nuanced tells. The son looks a little worried at what the father is saying. And eventually he turns to face you all a moment. Very well. I will help you track down the chieftain, but first I must drop a few things off at home.
Of course. Is there anything we can assist you with?
Is he lying?
No, Everin, he's not lying.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Our little lie detector's like beep, beep.
Yep.
No, he's not lying. He ponders a moment. I do not need help, but please come with me. My wife would love to speak with you and maybe feed your friends just for the moment.
Very good. Signals over to Cinder, Davi, and Bill to follow. Please, my friends, this way. We apparently have a bit more on our hands than I thought.
Jube, what kind of Nepalese food would you recommend?
I suppose it depends what they are serving. Smaller villages like this tend to serve the basic sushi and rice style foods.
I don't know. I'm getting a pretty strong cannibal vibe from these guys.
No, they're not. They're trustworthy. Don't worry.
Bill,
I
in
don't
what
know.
way are you getting a cannibal vibe from them?
I don't know. They just kind of seem like cannibals. They're in the middle of nowhere. They're not like from this area originally, which means that they probably were kicked out of their old place. Probably cannibals.
Bill, that's rude. Don't just say that.
I mean, like the truth hurts. You know, there's
It's
no
not the
waste of time.
truth, though. That's not what they are.
Yeah, you know, you say that, but
I
You
can
know.
tell when people are lying.
I don't know.
Literally, it is a gift of mine.
To be honest, Bill,
Well-
many Nipponese don't eat much meat at all.
Yeah, I know. That's probably why they got kicked out.
No,
Probably eat a lot of meat.
No, they do.
They probably eat people.
No, they do not.
Are you certain about that?
Yes.
That guy over there looks pretty jittery.
No,
Lack of protein.
he's just old.
And I don't know.
If he was eating people, wouldn't that give him lots of protein?
Maybe will they get the jitters like that guy? We got him
He,
all
he
jittery
is
and stuff.
old. He's old. Like so
He-
old.
Yeah, you know how he got to be old? By eating all the other people
No.
before they could eat him. This is a cannibal, more than likely.
Everyone is trying her best to make him like not be rude to the people, and she is like profusely apologizing to them.
That's alright.
No
I
way.
mean, sure, the cannibals, just keep your hands and feet away from them at all times, because otherwise,
I-
you know.
I am
might get
so
that-
sorry, and I'm just going to
might-
turn to the two Lebanese people and just he's just kind of stupid sometimes, or at least most of the time, and I'm really sorry about him. He doesn't mean it though.
No, but I do mean that they're cannibals. I mean, they're probably cannibals. I
You
think we have to
just-
see proof, but I don't think we should
No.
wait long. I
No.
don't think we should wait long enough for them to say, "Hey, guess what? It's nice to eat you. I mean, nice to greet you." That's all I'm saying.
No, they're not gonna do
They
that.
are not cannibals.
I mean, that's exactly what they want you to think if they were cannibals.
True, but if they weren't cannibals, they'd still want us to think the same thing.
Maybe.
Just,
Unless they're trying to
Bill,
scare us
Bill,
off.
just stop
Let's just bluff
talking, please. Well, read your handbook or something.
It's a manual.
He
Whatever.
has the chapter in the manual that says what to do when confronting cannibals.
Yes.
Let's see.
How about you read the entire chapter to yourself, and then you can tell us when you're finished.
Alright, let's see here. Interesting facts about cannibals.
No, silently.
If it's-
You have
If
to silently
encountering a village
read.
in the middle of nowhere, caution, they're probably cannibals.
Who wrote this handbook of yours?
Let's see here. He was a senator. No, he's an emperor. It says P. Huh. Says his initials here. Senator P. Building empires.
Good old Senator P. Maybe you'll
Yep.
run into him eventually. But regardless, as Bill is very rambunctious and rude, I think Cinder was trying to say something at some point.
It's fine.
Okay. So you guys follow the fisherman back to his home. There, two little girls run up and greet him, and his wife greet him as well. Um, he looks at you all and he goes, "Excuse me a moment while I prepare my things.
Of course.
Please make yourself at home. My wife has some food that she has finished. Feel free to help yourself."
Ah, of course. Jubei turns to the party and goes, everyone, please remove your shoes before entering.
I don't. What if she kind of like looks down at her feet and
Cinda, if you do
Alright,
not have
if you
shoes...
insist. She starts to mechanically just take off her feet.
Cinda,
No.
if you do not wear shoes, then it is not necessary to remove your feet.
She
She's
stands
been
back up.
barefoot this whole time.
Yeah, she's
Fair
well, I mean,
enough.
it's not like she has proper human looking feet. They're basically like
Metal feet.
inbuilt boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
When dealing
Um,
with cannibals, it is a common practice for them to try to limit your mobility.
No, I swear.
It is
To the
generally
gods.
considered in the pond to be polite to remove one's shoes before entering another's domicile, Bill.
Hey, I'm taking my shoes off. Don't want to be rude, but all I'm saying is, it's gonna be hard to run away.
We can still run away. It is not hard, but
Why
I'm
would
like,
it be hard to run away without shoes?
Uneven ground and rocks and stuff.
I just get better feet.
just get better feet.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
How old are the girls?
if you had to guess, one of them is about 8, the other's probably 12.
Everyone's eyes just like sparkle, and she looks so happy to see like younger kids.
Um,
It's
Let's
more
see.
of like just like having like a sister or brother that she never had.
no, that's fine. I'm gonna move Jubei's token to where the house is.
Oh, Jubei.
Yes,
What do Nipponese think about magic? Are they okay with it? Do they like it? Do they fear it?
Jubei's just gonna look at Everett and goes, Everett, you do realize I use magic, correct?
Oh, sorry. I just didn't know if it was like only these kind of people can use magic or stuff like that.
There is no negative stigma to magic, Everett.
Okay.
On the other hand, and he's gonna look over at Davia, in fact, when have people been reacting with Davia behind us?
They have been, granted, you're not in like the center of town or anything, but the few people that live in this area, like this is a big inn. A lot of them are just kind of like very wary of Davi,
Yeah,
but it also seems like perhaps they've had some interactions with tieflings, and the fact that they haven't had too many problems here up until the recent years with demonic forces, that's kind of
it's
that's kind of gotten better. But you can tell the older people are a bit more racist about it.
yeah. I figured, considering I put canon in that Nipponese practices to kill freaking tiefling children when they're born.
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
Nippon doesn't play around, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very
Oh, dear.
Japanese thing. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh dear. I guess I'm just gonna go sit down and just wait for food.
The 8-year-old girl looks over at and just kind of is trying to look at his book.
Yeah, I'm mostly string and bones. I probably don't taste very good, little lady. Oh, the book. Yeah, here you go.
You give her the book.
Yeah.
She takes the book and kind of sits down and starts to flip through it. You're not sure if she knows what she's reading or not. Uh,
All of
roll
life's
the-
lessons can be learned right there in that book. Start with page 1 and just keep going.
the 12-year-old is scolding her little sister for taking Bill's book and tries to take the book back to give it back to Bill. And the 8-year-old's like, no!
That's alright, you can keep it, little lady. I got like 20 of them at home.
Of course you do, Bill.
But do you have any more on you?
Yeah, I got a couple spares on me too, I guess. That one's probably like my favorite.
Why is it your favorite?
Oh, the lettering's really big. You know, I got like a couple of emergency manuals.
Oh dear.
I take it you have a few pocket books on you.
Yeah, you know, you can never go without good advice.
Oh dear.
So you guys, the wife, we'll just call her Sakura because I am not very creative with Japanese names apparently. She walks in with this huge plate and sets it down, and they don't actually have seats there. It's very traditional Japanese where the table is kind of low to the ground, and you have the pillows that you just kind of sit on. And then she brings a couple of pots of hot green tea out. Jubei, the scents hit you, and you can tell it's a type of oolong tea, which is one for vitality. She pulls the hood back of the little dinner plate thing, and you guys see some yakitori, which is skewered chicken, some sashimi, and some soba noodles, as well as a little bit of sushi.
Jubei gives a bow. Thank you very much, Mr. Sakura.
I follow the same because I don't know what to do.
Jubei will sit down cross-legged, and I'm assuming has his chopstick. There are chopsticks.
There are, in fact, chopsticks.
Picks up the chopsticks and goes, like this, Everin, and he'll kind of adjust Efren's hand so she's holding them properly.
Yeah, she's probably holding them like with two different hands, and it's just like sticking them into things.
Oh, these are
Bill will
rather,
make sure to avoid. Sorry, you go.
these are rather ineffective eating utensils.
I suppose in a way you could say that, but they do require a bit of skill and talent to use.
Sakura looks over and smiles. We have forks as well if you need them.
Yes,
She
please.
says in common. Very well.
Is anyone using the like eating at the moment?
Bill
Evan would try to.
Bill will avoid anything that looks like meat on the tray.
Okay, so soba noodles for you, and that's it.
Well, you know how to make people out of noodles.
Or
Noodles out of people.
maybe you might go for the fish.
I don't know. Could be like somebody's liver or something. Don't want to risk it.
Jubei starts eating.
As soon as Jubei starts eating, Cinder's just gonna watch him intently.
Is something the matter, Cinder?
Just analyzing.
Don't you want something to eat too?
Oh, I will. In a moment. And after she's done just watching intently for a moment, she's going to like these two little prongs are gonna like come out of her hand, and she's gonna basically use them as chopsticks and try to imitate Jube.
Everyone's gonna try herself to use the chopsticks and just like before Cinder could finish and saying that she's not going to eat for a second, she's just gonna put like food to her mouth and be like, "Eat."
No, I want to try this on my own if it takes skill.
I know, but just take this first.
She
Imagine-
takes the food.
Okay.
But I had this weird imagery of everyone just taking a chopstick and like stabbing a piece of meat like a skewer.
Probably.
I'm
And
sorry, Everin, are you feeding Cinder right now?
She gave her one piece of food and that's it.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
a,
so
like a
Cinder's gonna try and imitate Jue. Do I need a roll or anything?
Can I try to as well?
That's how good I am at using chopsticks.
Would it be a dexterity save? Dexterity check?
To not mess up with the chopstick,
Yeah.
we will do sleight of hand at disadvantage. Everin, you fumble pretty badly. With it, like you look like me trying to use chopsticks.
I don't know what that looks like.
Not good.
I know. Trust me.
I went to a ramen shop that does like authentic ramen the other day.
Yeah.
For lunch at work, and I tried to use the chopsticks. It wasn't happening. I dropped it immediately on the floor. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna get a fork.
Mhm.
Cinder, on the other hand, is not quite as bad as Everin, but clearly she understands the basics, but is still a little fumbly with it. And I imagine Bill just has a single noodle that he's just slurping up like a spaghetti noodle into his helmet as he eats. So
Sounds straight.
noodles.
That's how you're supposed to eat them.
Everyone looks frustrated a little bit that she can't get this to work.
Do not stress yourself over it, Everin. It takes practice to get used to the chopstick.
I know, it's just I look stupid.
Sakura ends up coming back with some forks and sets them down and spoons.
Thank you very much.
Cinder's gonna keep
well
trying.
As well as a little bottle of sake.
Ooh, Jue's eyeing that sake.
So is Davia.
Everyone takes it.
Good.
Does Everin drink it?
She's gonna like pour herself a little drink. Probably not knowing what it is.
What is this exactly?
I don't know.
Never had sake.
Does Juve wait to say anything just to see?
Yeah, I think I'm
Everin-
going to see what her reaction is before anything as he watches her.
She's just gonna take it like a shot or something like that.
Oh, God.
So sake is Japanese rice wine or Nipponese rice wine in this case. The fun thing about sake is they often have wildly contrasting alcohol volumes.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like Everin to make me a quick con. Okay, I was hoping you would get that nat 1, but you get a 15. The taste is pretty strong. You feel like your face flush a little bit, and your face is warm. All in all, it's an interesting drink. It's not quite like mead or ale or anything. Um, it's a little more vinegary than that.
She probably never even had that either. This is like her first like drink ever.
Evelyn, did you just slam back that sake?
What's that?
It's alcoholic beverage.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jubei will take a little bit and just sip it politely.
I had no idea. I thought it was something that was like water.
No, most sake should be sipped casually, not pounded back as it were.
I was just really thirsty. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
It is okay, Evelyn. It is okay.
I was never really allowed to drink. That's like one of the biggest rules, and I can see why.
You're fine. There's no problems.
I don't know why drinking is something you humans enjoy doing.
Great stress relief. Miss Akira, I was wondering if I could ask you. Your husband told me that you have been here for almost over an entire generation now on this island.
Yes.
When did the trouble with the? Then I can't remember the name of the fucking creature you said, but repeat name of creature.
Nue.
A Nue. When did this Nue start appearing?
About 5 or so years ago, I think.
Is this the only creature, or has there been multiple sightings of other demonic forces?
Well, the Nue is the biggest one, but we do have problems with several other types of creatures. Imps are some of them, but those are easy enough to deal with. My husband deals with protecting a lot of the village as best he can, but he's not trained like you would be. But he makes do with his father's sword
I see.
and grandfather's spear, of course.
And I suppose there are none of the Order on this island either.
No. We've tried to request for help from them, but they've denied us 3 times now.
I see. Jibei looks around at the group and kind of thinks to himself and then goes, if it is all right, and if you need assistance, with, of course, permission from my fellow friends here, but I happen to be a lord of a land nearby here. Yeah, we are still uh, new at it in recruiting, but if you should happen to require assistance with these things, I wish you to get a hold of me and I will do what I can for you people.
Okay.
This is still a responsibility, I believe, even if I had not finished the order.
So you're no longer part of the order.
I was never technically fully part of it. I never finished my training. But
I see.
yes, but the need to expunge the evil of the demonic forces, that is something one does not abandon. Finished or not.
Well, I'm happy to see that honor is still alive.
Thank you. Jubei will continue to eat and drink.
The food's pretty good. It's very very homely. Jubei really reminds you of your child.
It's like mom's cooking.
Whenever,
Yeah.
whenever Evan finishes her food, she's just gonna start like stuffing Cinder's mouth with food, just
Actually,
randomly.
while he's eating, though, a Shitori Toga will pop up on his shoulder and just take one of the fish.
Okay. The kids, the two little girls, are like, oh, when Shitori Toga pops up.
Do not worry, child. Shitori Toga is my friend. And Jubei will take Shitori Toga, put her on his hand, and slowly put it down for the kids to touch.
They're hesitant for a second before the younger one, who seems to be probably the more adventurous of the two, starts to pet Shitori Toga.
He will sit there and as it snuggles into the kid's hand.
They all look quite happy.
Anyway, Jubei turns out. So, I guess we wait till the husband's ready to take us down to go find the chieftain.
Yep, and that is where we will end today.
Ah, sounds good.
Alrighty.
That way Davia can be there for the horrible Nue.
I'll catch Davia up later with what went on. So